Dari, brow furrowed, sorts supplies under fluorescent lights. Her notebook reveals a detailed sketch of a subway tunnel, hinting at her clandestine pursuits. A sudden, overwhelming vision strikes Dari, shattering her focus. Quick flashes of Marcus, sharply dressed, being violently shoved onto the subway tracks as a train hurtles toward him. Dari gasps, her eyes wide with horrifying realization. He was murdered? In her apartment, Dari dives deep into the digital world, researching Marcus, piecing together fragments of his life as an investment banker murdered in 2022. Forum whispers hint at a cursed presence lurking within the depths of Ostbahnhof Station, a chilling prelude to Dari's quest. The clock strikes 1:17 a.m. As Dari arrives at Ostbahnhof Station, the desolate platform bathed in the eerie glow of flickering neon lights. The station is eerily deserted, amplifying the solitude of Dari's mission as she steps into the echoing silence. Her heart pounds as she scans the tracks, a fleeting shadow darting across the far end, confirming the sinister rumors. On the dimly lit Ostbahnhof subway platform, long shadows dance under the flickering fluorescent lights. Marcus's ghost materializes before Dari, his translucent form flickering with rage. "Who are you? Are you one of them?" Marcus demands, his spectral voice echoing through the station. Dari recoils, fear etched on her face as she pleads. "No, I'm here to help." Marcus's fury intensifies, a haunting accusation escaping his lips. "Help. No one helped me. They pushed me, murdered me." Marcus lunges, his ghostly hand reaching for Dari, as he menacingly declares, "You'll stay here, forever, like me." On the stark subway platform, Dari rolls aside, narrowly evading Marcus's enraged advance. Confusion and fury contort Marcus's face as Dari turns to confront him. "Marcus! Marcus Weber! Listen to me!" Dari cries out, her voice cutting through the night. Marcus retorts, "I don't listen to anyone anymore," his words echoing with raw defiance. Dari's desperate plea hangs in the air. "You were pushed. On a Tuesday night, 10:34 p.m., you were going home, under the harsh glare of fluorescent lights. The subway platform extends into the night, isolating Marcus in a pool of uncertainty. Marcus, vulnerable and shaken, asks, How do you know that?" Dari's intense gaze pierces through him as she declares, "Because I can see the truth. And the truth is, you were betrayed. You were murdered. But I'm not your enemy." Tears welling, Marcus whispers, They just pushed me." Flickering fluorescent lights cast long shadows across the grimy subway platform at Ostbahnhof. Dari speaks softly, her voice echoing in the cavernous space, a desperate plea hanging in the air. "You were a good man. You tried to do the right thing," Dari says, her eyes filled with urgency. Marcus stares back, his expression a shifting landscape of conflict and regret. I just wanted to go home, to my wife," Marcus whispers, his voice laced with a haunting longing. Dari's voice cuts through the night. "Your wife's name is Stephanie. She waited for you here every day. She knows you were murdered. She's still fighting for justice." On the deserted subway platform at Ostbahnhof, Marcus stares intently at Dari, his eyes pleading with desperation. Will she ever be able to forget me?" Marcus asks, his voice trembling with anguish. Dari's expression softens with empathy, yet remains firm. "She'll honor you, but you have to let go. You can't stay here, trapped in rage," Dari urges, her eyes reflecting the gravity of his situation. Marcus's voice cracks with vulnerability. How do I go?" Dari offers a path to peace. "You just have to stop fighting. Accept what happened." On the deserted subway platform, Marcus slowly approaches the edge, his figure silhouetted against the dim, distant lights. The air hangs heavy and still, carrying only the faint, metallic scent of ozone, as if waiting for a storm that never arrives. No train appears on the tracks, emphasizing the solitude and the weight of the moment. Marcus pauses, the silence amplifying the unspoken words hanging in the air. A quiet farewell escapes his lips, barely audible against the stillness. Thank you for listening. On the deserted Ostbahnhof subway platform, Dari opens her notebook, the silence amplifying the night's tension. The subway drawing on the page seems to dissolve, the ink swirling like smoke as new words begin to materialize. A chilling message etches itself onto the page. They are coming closer. Dari's eyes widen in alarm, a primal dread seizing her as the cryptic warning sinks in. She spins around, her breath catching in her throat as her gaze sweeps across the platform. 3 shadow figures stand motionless at the far end of the platform, their presence radiating an ominous stillness. A subway train screeches into Ostbahnhof, its metallic shell gleaming under the neon lights of the platform. A flurry of hurried footsteps and muffled voices marks the brief exchange of passengers. The train departs, leaving the platform eerily empty. The shadow figures vanished into the night. Dari closes her notebook, her voice trembling as she whispers into the echoing space. What does that mean? In the soft glow of her apartment, Dari immerses herself in research, her expression reflecting intense focus. She pores over documents related to the subway incidents, the weight of her investigation pressing down on her. Old newspaper clippings reveal a pattern of similar deaths stretching back years, each one labeled an accident or suicide. The coincidences mount, hinting at a dark and deliberate scheme hidden beneath the city. Dari's eyes narrow with grim determination as she pieces together the unsettling truth. Under the dim desk lamp, Dari hunches over her notebook, her brow furrowed in concentration. Charcoal scratches furiously against the paper as she desperately tries to capture the essence of the shadow figures. A shiver runs down her spine as she visualizes their malevolent nature, realizing they are unlike anything she has encountered before. The power of the shadow figures seems to emanate from the page, filling the small apartment with an unsettling presence. Amidst the towering aisles of the supermarket, Dari diligently stocks shelves with colorful canned goods. An unsettling sensation creeps over Dari, a feeling of being watched under the bright fluorescent lights. Dari's eyes dart around nervously, scanning the faces of shoppers and the gaps between shelves, searching for the source of unease. A fleeting shadow dances in the corner of Dari's eye, a momentary glimpse that heightens the growing tension. Dari whirls around, heart pounding, to confront the unseen presence, but finds only empty space and rows of neatly arranged products. A profound sense of isolation washes over Dari as the feeling of being watched intensifies in the mundane setting. Under the bright daylight, Dari revisits the Ostbahnhof station, a shadow of the past clinging to the air. She pauses, a subtle shift in her expression revealing the lingering presence that haunts her steps. Near the platform, a small memorial catches her eye, a silent testament to Marcus. Dari's gaze softens, a wave of remembrance washing over her as she acknowledges the poignant tribute. The room is cloaked in shadows, the city lights casting a muted glow through Dari's window. Dust motes swirl in the air, illuminated by unseen forces. An unnatural chill permeates the room, frosting the breath. A translucent figure shimmers into existence, an old woman, her face a roadmap of sorrow and regret. Her weary eyes lock onto Dari, carrying the weight of a long-forgotten tragedy. Her voice, a mere whisper, echoes with chilling urgency. Beware the shadow figures. They are called the Collectors. In the inky blackness of the subway tunnel, Dari advances, her flashlight beam cutting through the gloom, a determined glint in her eyes. Deeper she ventures, driven by an unseen force, each step echoing into the unknown. The air grows heavy as she stumbles upon a hidden chamber, a secret swallowed by the earth. Flickering shadows dance on the walls, hinting at unseen figures lurking just beyond the reach of the light. A sense of dread hangs in the air as the darkness seems to coalesce, revealing the haunting shapes of gathering shadows. In the depths of an abandoned subway chamber, Dim, flickering lights reveal a haunting scene. Dari, a young woman with haunted eyes, watches from the shadows, her face etched with fear. Cloaked shadow figures writhe in a ritualistic dance, their movements unsettlingly fluid. Lost souls, translucent and despairing, flicker like dying embers trapped within the chamber. The shadow figures chant, their voices echoing through the cavernous space, feeding off the negative energy. With each passing moment, the shadow figures grow stronger, their power intensifying in the darkness. In the suffocating darkness of the subway chamber, Dari fights to disrupt an unseen ritual. Shadow figures materialize from the walls, their forms flickering like half-formed nightmares. Dari focuses, her mind a beacon piercing through the illusion, revealing the raw, burning truth. The shadow figures recoil, their strength dissolving in the face of undeniable reality. On a dimly lit subway platform, Dari runs, her ragged breath echoing in the night, fear etched on her face as she glances back at pursuing shadows. Menacing figures flicker in the dim light, their forms indistinct as they gain on her, their footsteps pounding against the concrete. She leaps desperately towards a train, the doors hissing shut just as her pursuers reach the platform's edge. Safe inside, she collapses against the cold metal, the screeching doors a final, jarring punctuation to her escape. Fluorescent lights flicker and dance across the subway car as the train rumbles, a metal serpent speeding through the tunnels. Dari finds herself face to face with a shadow figure, the tension palpable in the confined space. Breathing hard, Dari ducks under a swinging pole, narrowly evading the figure's reaching grasp. A surge of recognition flashes across Dari's face. I know this train. I know this system. Driven by fierce determination, Dari grabs a fire extinguisher from the wall, her eyes blazing. The cold steel of the extinguisher feels solid in her grip, a weapon against the encroaching darkness. Dari stumbles through the doorway, her movements heavy with exhaustion and pain. The dim light of her apartment casts long shadows, highlighting the fresh wounds and weariness etched across her face. Each breath seems a struggle as she assesses the toll of recent battles, her body screaming for rest. A chilling realization dawns within her, her eyes hardening with resolve. The fight for survival intensifies as she acknowledges she must find a way to permanently stop the shadow figures. In the dim glow of her laptop, Dari sits surrounded by books on folklore and occult practices, her apartment a haven for arcane knowledge. Her fingers dance across the keyboard, a flurry of motion as she delves into ancient rituals, seeking a desperate solution. Dari pores over a digital tome, her brow furrowed in intense concentration, a glimmer of hope sparking in her eyes as she uncovers a potential banishment ritual. The hopeful flicker fades as she continues to read, the weight of the task settling upon her shoulders. The solution demands a powerful artifact, an almost mythical object that seems impossibly out of reach. Dari steps into the maw of the abandoned subway station, her flashlight piercing the oppressive darkness. The air hangs thick with the cloying scent of mildew and decay, a testament to years of neglect. Each echoing drip of water amplifies the station's haunting silence, hinting at the rumored spirit within. She ventures deeper, driven by the hope of finding the artifact, a beacon in this desolate domain. In the heart of an abandoned subway station, dust motes swirl in Dari's flashlight beam, revealing the cavernous decay. Water drips echo through the oppressive silence, each drop a stark reminder of the station's desolation. Before Dari stands the spirit, an ethereal figure radiating an otherworldly glow, its presence commanding and absolute. The spirit's intense gaze pierces through Dari, searching for any flicker of doubt or weakness. Do you truly understand the weight of your request? Dari's voice resonates with steely resolve, cutting through the ethereal atmosphere. I do, and I accept the responsibility. The spirit's voice echoes with ancient power. Prove it. Show me the depth of your resolve. Dari enters the subway chamber, determination etched on her face as she steps into the oppressive darkness. The artifact in her hand pulses with an ethereal light, a beacon against the encroaching shadows. Shadow figures writhe and coalesce, their menacing forms flickering as they prepare for a desperate battle. The fate of countless lost souls hangs in the balance, dependent on the battle about to unfold.